This week in show history, this is amazing, but 1 year ago this week, a leaked court order showed that the NSA was collecting the phone records of millions of Verizon customers daily without any particular suspicion of a crime. Shortly later, Edward Snowden revealed himself, fled to China, subsequently Russia, and of course, since then, we've learned about many other programs, including Prism, which collects email, voice, text, and video chats of foreigners. We've learned about countless spying attempts in foreign countries. We've learned about the Bahamas. We've learned about, was it Pakistan or Afghanistan, Lewis, that was the other country?
I believe Afghanistan.
Right. We've learned about the monitoring of diplomats and world leaders around the world. Edward Snowden has become somewhat of a cult hero to some and evil traitor to others. And it's very interesting because it's only been a year, although it's amazing that it has been a year. It feels like it was much more recent. It's only been a year. And the repercussions in terms of the law and in terms of discussions around the world at the highest levels about what should be done about these surveillance strategies and techniques and programs has been constant. So for better or worse, Lewis, I mean, how do you now view the revelations of Edward Snowden in retrospect?
Well, I mean, undoubtedly, they changed the country forever. I think things would have been completely different if people were just living in blissful ignorance of what was going on around them. But I think it's changed opinion of us across the world as well. As if things weren't bad enough, David, these revelations have made it worse.
Yeah, and as we've talked about, if you were paying attention to the Patriot Act and what was going on after 9/11, you knew that the groundwork was being laid for this type of surveillance, but you didn't necessarily know the specifics and the extent of it, although many could have assumed that. But now that it is out in the open, what may have just been assumptions or ideas from many, including those in other countries, we now know for sure. And it, of course, affects opinion of the U.S. around the world, but also what other countries have the exact same policies, right, that we don't necessarily know about because either we don't know or we don't care, as often is the case with Americans with regard to what goes on in other countries. It's probably not unique to the United States. It's definitely not unique, at least in some cases.
No, we know that China is doing similar things, probably Russia. But I'm more curious to know about the countries that are spying on other countries as we are. That would be interesting to